Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are Group 14. My name is Hansen. Me and my teammate Ming will introduce you the tariffs and import duties, effects on industries and the economies, costs and benefits of a tariff. Via collection method, we can divide the tariffs into specific tariffs and ad valorem tariff. A specific tariff is a fixed fee levied on per unit of imported product. For example, a country could levy a $15 tariff on each pair of shoes, or levy a $300 tariff on each computer imported. For the ad valorem tariff, this type of tariff is levied on a good based on a percentage of that good's value. An example of an ad valorem tariff would be a 15% tariff levied by Japan on US automobiles. According to flow of commodity, tariff can be divided into export duty and import duty. Export duty is the tax imposed on exporting goods by the custom office of the exporting country when trade flows from domestic to international market. This is a part of the international trade policy of a country, used to raise the state's revenue. The export tax or customs tariff is based on the value of product, or their weight or dimension. Import duty is the tax imposed on importing goods by the custom office of the importing country with the entrance of a foreign product. It aims to enhance the competitive strength of a local goods by limiting import and increasing the price of foreign product flowing into the domestic market. The export duty normally applies on the primary resources such as wood and coke. These resources are normally with a large scale in either domestic and international market. When a country has its economy increase mainly rely on exporting such resources, and the demand elasticity of the resource is comparably low in the international market, it may lead to a poverty growth economy. This tariff is generally used by countries to avoid such poverty growth. Export duty in some extent forces the exporter to spend more resources on increasing the added value and technology content of export goods, but not just exporting primary resources. For those developing countries which mainly provide labor-intensive products, the application of export duty on those products will encourage the producers to shift their competitive strength from natural resources and cheap labor costs to technological innovation. It also makes the producer to bring in modern techniques to further process the primary resources and products, then achieve the goal of adding value. For the countries with an advantage in pricing of their resources in international market, applying tariffs on related resources will directly increase the state's revenue as the demand elasticity of these resources are generally high. This amount of revenue can be used in increasing the social benefits. Government can also offer some preferential policy to the related further process industries. These will reduce the export of essential resources and promote technical export by increasing the price of exporting resources and the amount of exporting further processed goods. This will not only generate more tax revenue but also create job opportunities in related industries. For example, Russia is one of the main exporter of timber resources. The export duty on raw wood was increased from 10% to 80%, which is over €50. This largely increased the price of timber in the international market. Even the demand of timber in international market declined. However, it jumped back to a reasonable level very soon. When the countries have enough monopoly power in one good in international market, the government can improve the term of trade by applying export duty on such goods. These countries are normally regarded as large nations. Compared to the unchanged import price, the increase in export price will be increased due to the tax, which means the number of imported goods can be exchanged by the tax export unit has increased to achieve the goal of improving the condition of trade. The export duty can also be used to protect strategy resources for exporting countries, since businesses are always targeting profitability and many businesses may ignore the sustainability when chasing interest. When exporting countries have less pricing rights in the international market, the large amount of export of such resources will lead to the loss of strategic resources. For example, China is the world's largest coke exporter. More than 50% of the global coke resources are produced in China. However, the price of coke in the international market is decided by the further processing products, such as coking coal. As a developing country, China has competitive disadvantage in refining, which leads to a weak pricing right. To protect the national coke resources, Chinese government applied a 40% export duty on them. This safeguards the coke needs in the domestic market and limited the outflow of strategic resources. Now let's welcome Ming to introduce you the import.
Okay, I'm going to continue with the effects and costs and benefits of the tariffs. So the first one is decline the economic health of a nation. So for the countries with the tariff imposed on it, foreign tariffs raise the cost of domestic producers, which causes them to sell less in those foreign markets. The demands for consumer producers decrease, lead to reductions on employment level as well. So and reduce domestic producers' competitiveness, which means that tariffs hurt the countries that impose them, as the costs outweigh their benefits. Tariffs are a boon to domestic producers, who now face the reductions competitions in their home market. Lower competitions will reduce their competitiveness as well. So the follow one is reduce consumers' income with a higher price. The price of the good with the tariff has increased. The consumers is forced to either buy less of this good or less of some other goods. The price increase can be thought of as a reductions in consumers' income. Since consumers are purchasing less, domestic producers in other industries are saving less, causing a decline in the economy. And it also can protect infant industry as well. So the governments of developing economies will levy tariffs on imported goods in industries in which it wants to foster growth. This increases the price of imported goods and creates a domestic market for domestically produced goods, while protecting those industries from being forced out by more competitive pricing. It decreases unemployment and allows the developing countries to shift from agricultural products to finished goods. So next one is protect certain industries, like for example defense industry. So tariff is used to protect certain industries that are deemed strategically important, such as defense industry, which are often viewed as vital to states' interests and often enjoy significant levels of protection. And followed by protects consumers as well. So a government may levy a tariffs on products that it feels could endanger its population. So we continue with the effects, costs, and benefits of the tariff. So it can increase the government revenues, and also domestic producers face lower competition, retaliation, reduced efficiency, and unfortunately for customers as well. So the benefit of the tariffs are uneven because a tariff is a tax. The government will see increased revenues as imports enter the domestic market. Domestic industries also benefit from a reduction in competition, since import prices are artificially inflated. Unfortunately for consumers, both individual consumers and business. Higher import prices means higher price for goods. In the short run, higher price for goods can reduce consumption by individual consumers and by business. During this period, some businesses will profit, and the government will see an increase in revenue from duties. In the long term, this business may see a decline in efficiency due to a lack of competition, and may also see a reduction in profit due to the emergency of subsidies for their products. For the government, the long-term effects of subsidies is an increase in the demand for public service, since it increases the price, especially in foodstuffs, leave a less disposable income as well. So the countries may also see set tariffs as a reparations technique if they think a trading partner has not played by the rules. And also it can reduce the consumer choice as well. When tariffs are placed on imported goods, the increased price and reduced trade prohibits individuals from all choices that could be available in the market. So this is our presentation. Thank you.